I'm gonna send out one last ping of people. Hopefully that'll get some more in.
Yeah, we're gonna wait a couple minutes
Yeah.
for the stragglers and then we'll get going. I'll introduce you, Jesse and Allison, and we'll be off to the races. For those of you who are on, welcome. And I am putting the most updated schedule for the week in the chat so that you can download it to your computers and that you know the general plan for Sunday to Friday in Las Vegas. And if anybody has questions during the presentation, you're more than welcome to put them in the chat or wait until the end when we can have questions asked one at a time.
Nice. We'd start at like 6:02. Just give a little bit more. All right, and it is 6:02, so we'll go ahead and get started if people join. Hopefully they will. So welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to our May meeting. For anyone who does not know, I am Jesse Brotman. I am the student delegate president this year. We are unfortunately not joined by Peter. He has a graduation or some senior appointment right now, but he is our vice president. And Allison is also here with us. Allison, you want
Hey
to introduce
guys.
yourself?
Hi, my name is Allison. I'm from Region 3 in Mississippi Hills High School. It's
Awesome. All right, so we're going to go ahead. As you guys know, you saw my messages. Today, we're going to be talking about the National Convention because it's coming up. I believe either today's 50 days, a day or two is 50 days. We're getting really close. It's exciting. So, what is the National Convention? Here we have two big packets. So, both these can be found on the national website. This one is just the general information where it tells you, these are the competitions. These are like how many can do them, all that. We're going to be going through a lot of that today too, but there's even more in the packet. There's just really helpful information on there. Then there's also the schedule that's on the website. Mr. Snow sent the updated one. So check that one instead of the one on the website for now, but soon it will be updated. But yeah, the National Convention is just our Mu Alpha Theta convention in Las Vegas this year. And I believe it's close to 500 students are going to be there from Mu, Alpha, and Theta. We're going to be doing lots of competitions, lots of different social events. It's going to be a lot of fun.
this is okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about this year's excursions really quickly, because we switched them up a bit. Our first one obviously is the Spear. I think I checked the schedule. It's kind of just it's just gonna be an exhibit showing off the Spear. We don't have like a show. And then the second one is a Cirque du Soleil show. I think both will be really exciting, and your school can kind of decide like which one they want to do. And they can also split up depending on how many sponsors you have.
Yes, lots of fun. And your school does get to pick which one you go to. So if you have a strong opinion, let your sponsor know so they can sign you up for the one you want to do. So we're going to be going over some types of competitions, like I mentioned, the general overview, just the names. So individuals, topics, ciphering, schools, relay, hustle, chalk talk, inner school, Gemini, speed, and mental. So you can see a lot of different things. We are there for a few days. So we have lots of events to compete in. So the first one is the most standard, the individual test. It's 30 different questions, multiple choices you can see, where it's A through E, where E being NOTA. You get 60 minutes to do the whole thing, and the scoring is 5 points for a correct answer, 1 for something you leave blank, 0 for something incorrect. So using statistics, the expected value is saying you should guess if you can eliminate any answer choices, because then it's better to randomly guess and hopefully you'll get it. So ties are broken by the sudden death method. And at nationals, they'll tell you to ask your sponsor if you don't know it. But how it works is they go through and it's like, say you and someone have the exact same numerical score, then they go through question by question, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Whoever has the first one correct that the other person got wrong or blank is the one who wins. So say me and Allison both got 123. Then, well, question 1 we both got right. Question 2 we got right. 3 we got right. 4 I got wrong, but Allison got right. So Allison is going to go ahead and beat me in that tiebreaker. And then if for some reason there's like identical scores and the breakdown is exactly the same, there is tiebreakers where it's like a question versus like a person versus person question. And that's always exciting. I've never actually done one, but I've heard it's really cool. At nationals, the awards are given to the top 20 in each division for the individual.
Okay, next we have the school bowl test, and whoever is in the school bowl is decided by your individual and ciphering scores. That's gonna be the top 4 people for each division, each school. The format is 12 open response questions. You do one at a time. You get 4 minutes for each, but depending on which interval you answer that in, you get a different amount of points. And we also use a sliding scale. Like, for example, if no one gets it right in that first interval, then we would move to the second interval. Those people would actually receive the most amount of points. And then we give awards to the top 10 teams in that division.
Yes. So then moving on is the Gemini. This one is 30 questions. So again, multiple choice, really similar to topics which we'll discuss later in the individual. Same scoring, same sudden death. These are for the students that are not doing the school bowl. So everyone but 4 per division per school. And the key difference this year compared to previous years is in previous years, it would be 1 person from one school, 1 person from another working together. This year, it's 2 from the same school, unless, of course, there's an odd number, in which case they'll pair them up. And that means that awards are given to the top 10 in each division, but it's limited to 1 team per school winning. So it's not just going to be 10 teams from the same school taking all the trophies.
Next, we have speed and mental math. I think 3 students from each school are chosen to do that. So for speed, it's 25 questions, open response, 15 minutes, and you need exact answers. And that's really just testing your speed. So you want to choose the students who are best at that. And then there's mental math, which is 40 questions, open response, 8 minutes, and you're not allowed to write at all for that. These awards are given to top 10 students, but they're also given to the top 10 sponsors. So you can encourage your sponsors to do that. I think that's always really fun for them.
Yes. And then topic tests, like I briefly mentioned. So here we have all of them. It's the same format as the individuals, except awards are given to the top 15 instead of top 20. This year's topics for theta for round 1. So it's split into 3 different rounds because there's 3 different times that you're taking a test. You are allowed to test into a division higher than yours. So say you're a theta, you can technically take any topic you want, but if you're a mu, you can only take mu or open. So here you can see all of them. They're actually really interesting and they go like really in depth in that particular subcategory. So actually some advice I have for preparing for the individual is to go through all the topics, because if you know all the topics well, then you know what you can work on more specifically, and that also applies to the individual. And yes, lots of fun. I believe everything here is the same format, so we should be all good there. And yes. All right.
Next, we have ciphering. I think we're doing that Tuesday afternoon. So it's 12 open response questions, 1 at a time. You have 3 minutes. It's kind of similar to the school bowl, as in you have a sliding scale, and depending on how fast you answer it is how many points you get. And then for ciphering, we will also be giving top 20 in each division.
Next up, hustle and relay. So these ones I know people always have a lot of fun on because they're like a completely different format, and these are like really high stakes, high pressure, so it's a lot more fun. I've never actually done it. Unfortunately, I've never been chosen for the team, but how it works for hustle, technically there's 6 team members, but only 4 of them are really doing math. 2 of them, which means at least 1 sponsor and a student, are doing grading. So there's 5 rounds, 5 minutes each to answer a total of 125 questions, breaking down by topic. So geometry, algebra 2, statistics, calculus, and alpha pre-calculus. So 25 questions per topic. Points are awarded based on the round you submitted in. So if you submitted in the first round, which is the first 5 minutes, then you get more points than if you submit it in the fifth round, which is towards the end of your time. On the other hand, it's relay. So there's 3 team members, 1 from each division. Here, there's 9 rounds with 3 questions each. And this is kind of like one person sits in the front, answers a question, passes it back to the person behind them. The person behind them has to answer a question. They pass it back. They answer the question. So you're working together, but you're not allowed to talk to each other. So it really depends on everyone. Everyone's vital in this one. Again, points based on how fast you do it. And there's bonus points if you get all 3 parts correct versus just getting one of them.
Okay, next is Chalk Talk. I don't know how much I can actually speak on this. Jesse, I think you should take this one.
Okay, I can do this one. So Chalk Talk, there's 7-minute speeches that you're going to give on a particular topic. So the mu topic is math and probability. The alpha topic is math and the desert. The theta topic is math and desserts. Props are not allowed. Let's emphasize that. Props are not allowed. You will lose points. So it is 1 presenter per school per division, should already be chosen by your sponsor when they signed you up. And what they do is before nationals even happens, you're going to submit a video of yourself giving your speech. Then the top 10 per division are going to be chosen by the board or whoever's judging it. And I'm not sure if they're announcing it before nationals this year or at nationals. Last year, they announced it during the opening ceremony.
I can take that one. Jesse is the head of Chalk Talk.
Yes.
Every presentation of Chalk Talk for each participant will be judged by 2 sponsors at their homes. They will be sent all of the links and they will be grading them over a week-long period in June. As soon as their judging is complete, they will send all of the results to Ms. Woofenden and myself, and we will score them, and we will let the sponsors know which of their students qualified for the finals so that those students can prepare in the 2 or 3 weeks after they're announced to get ready for the finals. Now, we're not going to tell the schools who the other 9 people are. We're simply going to say, Jesse from American Heritage Palm Beach and Allison from Vestavia Hills are in the finals. The students will find out their competitors once they get to Vegas and the schedule is sent to every sponsor. The sponsors are simply going to be told in June which of their students, so that they can tell their students and the students can get to work on their improvements for the July event in Las Vegas.
Awesome. So that's how prejudging works. And then at nationals, there is another live round. So you have to bring in a 3x5 note card that lists all the sources you used. So whatever research you did, just make sure you record those. You'll give those to your judges. You're also allowed your own 3x5 note card, just for any notes you want or anything to reference. My advice as someone who made it to finals but didn't do particularly well, first off, know your material really well so you don't have to be staring at your note card. And if you can, practice with a whiteboard so you're not like turned around the entire time writing. You want to be able to write and then face the audience, because that definitely counts for a lot of presentation points. Next up, last part of this is awards are given to top 10. So if you make finals, you're getting an award. That's awesome. All right.
All right, so now I'm going to talk about the National Delegate Assembly. So essentially, every school is allowed to send 1 representative, and we'll have daily lunches Monday, Tuesday. We skip Wednesday for the excursion, and then Thursday. So Monday is going to be the day we're kind of just like getting introduced to everyone within your region. And then on Tuesday, also on Monday, we might pass a couple bylaws. So just keep that in mind. But then Tuesday, we're going to vote within our regions to select the representative to go into the election on Thursday, where we decide who our National Delegate Assembly is going to be. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be led by me, Jesse, Peter, and I think Mr. Snow for Region 4. So yeah.
Yes. So moving on. This is one of the most important things. I'm guessing since you guys are here, you already know this. I know Sukirth is in these. Eduardo, if you're not, please join. The left QR code is for our Discord. So here you can talk to people, meet people from around the country that are in Mu Alpha Theta, but also there's dedicated channels for asking math questions. So if you're practicing, you get stuck on a question, you need help with it, you don't understand the solution, post it in there. Someone will be in there and help you solve it. They'll show you how to do it, and you'll be better for nationals. And then the right one is just our Instagram. We're going to be a lot more active on that in the coming weeks as we get closer to nationals. So follow that. Some cool things will be happening that you should pay attention to. With that, do we have any questions? I know some people might be planning on running for an officer position. So if you got questions about that, questions about tests, anything.
I wanted to say something, I'm sorry, about the excursion to the sphere, because if I'm not mistaken, it's not only we're going down into the bottom of the sphere where they have all of the technical things you can try and look at and kind of experience, and then we're going into the sphere to see the Sphere Experience movie. Isn't that correct?
I'm seeing nods, so it looks like it is.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
That is correct. When you go in, there's a video you can, if you get in line, do. There's some robots that you can talk to. There's $7.50 waters that are expensive, but you can take an empty plastic bottle with you. Has to be empty, has to be see-through, has to be plastic with you. And they have filling stations. And there's, like I said, the robots that you can ask them weird questions and they are supposed to answer you. And there's a lot of things to look around and see. There's one place that you can stand in a certain spot and what you're listening to is in English. And then if you move over just a little bit, the same thing that you were listening to is in Spanish, and so on and so on, a bunch of different languages, which was cool. And then you go into the sphere and it's the IMAX-y type thing of Postcard from Earth.
Awesome. Eduardo, I saw you unmuted for a second. Did you have a question?
Yes, I had a couple questions. Is it possible to see the Gemini slide again?
Gemini,
And
yes.
also for Gemini, is there any restriction on how many students can attend? Or we can send everyone who is not on team?
It should be everyone that's not on team should be at the Gemini. That's
Everyone,
a scheduled
yeah,
event for everyone.
everyone not on team is doing Gemini, Eduardo. So for example, if you
Okay.
have 6 students, say you have 10 total students in calculus coming from your school, the top 4 are going to be on team in the bowl room. The other 6, you will have 3 pairs of teams from your school. So of course, your sponsor will want to put the best 2 people left over as a team, and then 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th. And that's up to the sponsor to create. But
Okay.
in general, you want to put your best 2 people who are not on team together to get the best score possible for your school. Because again, 1 trophy per school maximum. So every result is going to be for a different school. This is a chance for small schools to win a trophy in this test because there's only 1 winner from the big schools that you're going to hear a lot during the week. Now,
Okay.
if you have an odd amount, say you have 5 people from your school, you would have 2 full teams from your school, and then the 5th person would match up with someone who is a singleton from another school. Now, the advantage for that student is if you're from a small school, you would put your name in, because if you're from a big school, the trophy is going to be taken by the students of that school. But if you're a small school, you would put your name on the Scantron, because again, you're the only one representing that school, and you have a better chance to win because you have the chance of that 1 trophy.
Okay, thank you.
And teams, do we know the rules, Ms. Wolfenden, on that? What constitutes a team for bowl? Do they need 3? Do they need 2? What's the minimum?
Bowl, I believe 3.
I believe 3 as well. So if you only have 2 people in a division, Eduardo, say 2 calculus students, they would not do bowl. The 2 calculus students from your school would be your Gemini team, and they would do that. Because of course with bowl, it's supposed to be 4 people. 2 people, you wouldn't have an advantage at all. So if you have 3 or 4 people in a division, then those 3 or 4 would do bowl. If you only have 1 or 2, those people would do Gemini. And then if you have a lot of students, again, top 4 on bowl, and everybody else does Gemini during the same time.
And the Gemini, there are 2 trophies, so both people get them, but
Correct.
it's to your advantage to put the smaller school's name, because if school blah 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 has already been called, you're not going to get it.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions, Eduardo?
Yes, I had a couple more. I know in Hustle it said you require 2 graders as well. Is there a requirement for graders in Relay as well?
No,
No. Okay.
no. For relay, the graders and the helpers are chosen by Ms. Wolfenden and her team as a job for those adults during that event. I
Okay.
run the hustle event. If your school is going to have a hustle team, your
Mhm.
sponsor needs to be there to be the grader for
Yes.
another team, and then an assistant of some kind. Now, the assistant can be a student who's not doing anything, or it can be another sponsor, but they need what I call a helper. So you have an adult sponsor who's going to grade questions, and you have an assistant who's going to do exactly that, assist the adult in the room. So what I always say when we have meetings with the sponsors for the bigger schools who aren't doing anything, bring every adult you can to hustle. That way we ensure that all the small schools have a grader available. Because if you're from a small school, your sponsor may be doing relay or doing something else in that time frame, and they can't do hustle at the same time. So we try to encourage the bigger schools to send more volunteers so that every school who wants to compete in hustle can do so.
All right. I had another question for Chalk Talk. I understand there's the prelims online and then
Mhm.
there's the physical in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know, does the presentation need to be the exact same, or
No,
can we update it?
you will
Okay.
update it. No, you will
I believe
update it. The
you do get your-
judges, go ahead, Jesse.
I was gonna say, do you get your judges' feedback from the
Yes, you
prelims,
will.
so you know what to change?
The
Yes.
sponsors are going to be told who made the finals, and the sponsors are going to be sent the documents that the judges create. And then the sponsors can send those to the students who can read them and adjust their talk to make it better for the live version in Las Vegas. The talk does not need to be the same. You have made the finals, and your job is to improve your talk to the best of your ability to present in Las Vegas live in a convention room.
Okay.
The judges who watched the first round in June will not be watching the finals in Vegas. Completely different human beings for all divisions. So if 2 people are doing each one in June, different people are doing them in Vegas.
So
Any other questions?
Go ahead, Jordan.
Is there a rubric for Chalk Talk, or
It is in, I will put it, well, it's in the sponsor packet. Jesse's got the slide on the screen. Oh, it went away. There
away?
is a link for the sponsor packet, Eduardo, and it's right there on the screen. That is what the judges are using when you talk or when your members talk. And their job is, of course, to circle a number in each of the 10 categories and add them up to get the student's score.
Okay.
So that is the exact document that the judges are going to use for the people who speak in front of them. And they will mark it and they will put comments on the back, I would assume, in the live version of Vegas. For the June version, it's a doc file. They're simply going to extend the doc file and then save it, of course, for each individual school. And I will send those out once the competition is over.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Those are some good
Kurth,
ones.
any questions? Mr. Goley.
I don't have any.
Okay. Because
Alright.
you 2 are the only 2 here.
With that, I believe that was everything. Just to make sure. Yes, thank you everyone for coming. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. These are some of our emails. There's the direct link for the Discord. That's our tag. That's our website. And yeah.
Jesse, will it
Awesome.
be possible to post the slides in the Discord or something?
Yes, that's a great idea. And this recording will also be posted on the YouTube fairly shortly.
Yes.
All
But
right,
yes,
thank
I'll
you.
post the slides too. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Hi, guys.
All right, I'm stopping the recording. And now we are going to